Maybe I'm just overly tired. But I just saw some weird. Good morning. So, they're still sleeping back there, I think. I didn't hear them get up. It's about 20 after 5. And I'm going to have some breakfast, watch the sunrise behind me. I got the moon behind me as well. And after I get back on the trail, I'm going to talk a little bit about last night. It was a very interesting night. But I'll wait. Alright, so I got oatmeal, and I'm gonna have that, make some coffee, and then break down, and I think I'm just gonna head back to the car. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I've been up since 3, and I'll tell you why later. Very interesting night. Alright. So this is my view from the hammock this morning. The moon came up right over there. And if I would have stayed in the hammock, I would have been able to see the sunrise. But I had breakfast instead. Right off this little ledge. Get this nice mossy spot. Look how nice it is. Pretty nice. Strange night, but beautiful morning. Alright, so it's like 10 to 7, already on the trail, and just gonna take my time and head back to the car. No Wittenberg. I'm gonna be exhausted by the time I get back to the car. Long night. So, 2 unusual things happened. I talked about going down the shelter, and what appeared to be a group of people. I saw a couple of hammocks. Heard some very loud talking, and just seemed like it was more than one person. When the guy and his son showed up last night, I heard him walk past, and then heard him come up, after the appropriate amount of time to go down to the shelter. And he had mentioned that the guy was down there, kind of doing the same thing, talking real loud, random numbers, just saying random numbers out loud, or shouting them. And looked at him and said, "I know you. You're Brian." He's not Brian. But he was butt naked, and so he just left, and there's more than enough room on that ledge for more people, so shared the fire pit, talked a little bit, and went off to bed, and they stayed up, played some games, had a little fire. So throughout the night I kept waking up, and so that's the ledge right there I was just on. So like basically right in here is where I set up, and the shelter is right over. Ooh, excuse me. The shelter is about a half a mile walk, but the trail curves, so it's probably more realistically like a quarter mile away. It's not that far, but you could hear that guy shouting all night. I don't know if it was numbers or names or what. I just kept hearing "Whoa, whoa." So I periodically wake up and hear that, and just hoping it wasn't getting closer. If the guy got closer, if he started heading up towards us, I'm not sure what would have happened. That would not have been good. But probably would have packed up and left. That guy was weird. Not the guy who was up here with this kid, but the guy down in the shelter. So yeah, that was weird thing number one. Second weird thing. In my mind, I've rationalized this as it was an owl up in a tree, but none of it really makes sense. So okay, maybe I'm just overly tired, but I just saw some weird. I don't even know how to explain it. Thought someone was walking by, and I saw a headlamp. This doesn't go anywhere, it drops off the edge. I was about to say something. I wasn't sure what exactly I was seeing, so I turned on my headlight. I couldn't see through the net. So I unzipped the net, and I could see the light, but there was nobody there. And then I thought maybe it was an owl with its eyes reflecting my light, because it looked like it went like branch to branch and went that way. But I saw it before my headlamp was on. And I don't want to freak out this guy and his kid. They were here playing cards by the fire. But I don't know what the hell that was. I've seen some weird things. That was pretty weird. Unless they were down here looking for firewood, but I didn't hear footsteps. I don't know. I'll overlay a little video clip here of where my hammock was compared to the cliff and the trees I'm about to talk about. So, maybe 15 or 20 minutes after I went over to the hammock, there was somebody coming back up from the shelter. Now we had heard, I think there was like 2 people go down towards the shelter, and then we heard them come back. So we assume the same thing happened. They went down, met the crazy guy down there, and just left. But they kept walking. They didn't stop at the ledge. So I may come across them up here somewhere. But right as they were approaching, I didn't hear them coming. But I did hear what sounded like sticks or leaves, twigs, stuff like that moving, being stepped on. And right off that little cliff, the little ledge where I was camped, I hung my food bag. because it drops down like 20 feet right there, so nothing's gonna get to that. And I thought, oh, there's a bear or something down there, smells of food, and it's coming up to get it. So I kind of started paying attention. The cameras that came by this yesterday. It's cool. All little ledges. This is why they call this Terrace Mountain. It just kind of has these steps that drops down. So I started paying attention. I just finished. I was talking like maybe 3 minutes after I did my closing video last night. Excuse me. Had my phone out. I just plugged into the battery pack to charge it up. And I was looking at photos from the day. Just taking a look where I'd been, what I'd seen, see how the photos turn out, because I don't really look at them when I take the pictures. Snap the picture, I might look at it real quick and then put the phone away. And I had the corner of my eye, so along the ledge to my left, I see a light. And I first don't think anything of it, because there's, as you can hear, the jet flying over, a lot of air traffic. And his kid was pointing them out all night. Hey, there's another plane, there's another plane. They're everywhere. So first I thought it was that. So it was kind of dim. And then, oh, something's up in this tree. And then, is that a crow? Yeah, it's a crow. It looked like its movements are kind of coinciding with noise, but what I was actually hearing was the people walking up the trail. 'Cause as you can tell, the trail kind of turns around that ledge, and so I look and I realize it's kind of moving like a person would move, you know. And I'm thinking maybe this guy from the shelter came up. He's like milling around, walked in like behind the guy and his kid, because I didn't hear him say anything. And I was pretty sure that they came down to like collect firewood over by the hammock. They would have just been like, hey, we're down here getting wood, just so I knew they were there. They didn't say anything. So I mean, it was to the point where I actually unzipped the hammock, had my light on, sat up, pulled the net back over my head, and I sat there and I watched this light walk, and as soon as I shined my light on it, it stopped. And it kind of went like this. It like moved. And what is that? And I looked and I turned, and I got that Yuko Air. So it's got like the turn for intensity. So I turned it all the way up. Now I can see all the way to the ledge. There's nobody standing there. Nobody. Oh, what the? You know, and owls tend to do this with their heads, right? So I'm like, what the freak am I seeing? I look. I'm just kind of baffled by what I'm looking at. And there's a light. It looks like a dull headlamp, but nobody. And so I just keep looking, and it moved like it ran, but there's nothing there. How that ledge just drops off on the other side. There's no way anybody would stand out there. And it kind of moved in line with the tree, like it'd go like behind a tree, like behind a branch, and it'd pop out, and it just took off. And I have no idea what it was. Kind of thinking maybe it was an owl. When I was in the hammock, maybe there's people walking by behind me, had their lights turned that way, and it was catching the eyes. And then by the time I unzipped my bug net and looked over, I was catching the light. Let's see if I have any signal here. I do not. I did yesterday, but oh, okay, no problem. I'm gonna send some text so people know I'm okay, but it's got to wait. Yeah, no idea what that was. It was crazy. I've seen some weird things when I'm out camping. That was by far with that guy shouting down off in the distance at numbers, and that light. I don't know. It was weird. Weird night. I was actually up at 3. That guy was down there shouting until like 4:30. By that time, I know I want to be up by like 5. The sunrise is right before 6, so I wanted to get up and see the sunrise. They were saying there was a possibility of early morning showers, but I don't think we're going to get anything. That sky is blue. Look at that sky. Blue skies. So, yeah, this is the junction here. That would take me up to Wittenberg eventually. And then this is going back to the car. Hopefully I see the bear again. But yeah, weird night. So by 4:30, I just stayed awake, turned off my alarm, and just got up and went and looked at that ledge, see what possibly could be out there. So the only thing I think of is it was an owl, and it was catching the light off of headlamps. It was just good timing. Good timing and bad perspective. I was sitting in a hammock, you know. So, don't know. I think we were just talking in a live stream about weird things you've encountered. I know it wasn't Bigfoot. Unless Bigfoot swings from trees like a monkey. Where's a headlamp? But yeah, so when I got this morning, I was standing at that ledge. I took a few video shots with the like red pink sky, which is beautiful. And it was right at 5 o'clock, and a heron flew over. And I didn't have the camera running, but this heron flew over, went right over the outcropping, almost directly over my head. It was really cool. And then had my breakfast. I was getting ready to go pack down the hammock and everything, and I could hear. How many straps? I think so. I could hear something really loud down in the valley. I tried to take a recording of it, see if I get the sound. If I did, slipped off a rock. If I did, I will put it in here. But it almost sounded like a bear cub. It was loud and way down the mountain. But it is that time of year, so. Cue the jet. Spring morning sounds of the Catskills. Yeah, this is a section I saw the bear in. And I told a couple people that I passed that the bear was here. So one guy said he had heard rumors about a big bear that was down here, so I'm guessing it lives down this way. And the gentleman who was at the campsite with me, with his son, said that he had passed a group that told him that they had seen a bear too. So he may come back out. There's only so many people were up on the trail, at least according to the register. So it was probably one of the people I saw. They're probably keeping an eye out for it and saw it. So, active bear. I mean, if I was a bear, I'd live here. Look at this. But, yeah, you really, like, from a distance, you know, sometimes you can spot them. But I don't really care to sneak up on a bear if I know there could be one here. So, now that I'm getting closer, I'll stop being so stealthy about it. Usually if they know you're coming, they'll take off. And I'm pretty ripe, so if there was a bear here, it may have smelled me long ago. But this is a nice spot. This would be a great spot for a campsite. Of course, you would be a refrigerator for a bear, but it'd be a nice spot. Is that the tree? I think this is there's one of these trees. Here's by the big bear. Ran down out that way. Actually, no, was that tree? And ran over the edge or ran back that way. So now we're ready to start the serious descent here. We start really dropping back down towards the car. Funny, I was thinking about this while I was hiking. I've been asked so many times, you know, do I carry a gun or do I carry, you know, anything protection against bears, bear spray? You know, what happens if an animal attacks? What happens if this happens? Last night was the perfect example of my philosophy on that. I saw the big bear here, saw whatever weird light in the trees. The light, curious, not sure what it was. The bear, excited to see the bear. What I was losing sleep over was the guy like a quarter mile away that was seemingly unstable. That's what worried me. That made me keep my knife close. Not the bear, not the tree fairy, whatever it was. The brightly illuminated owl. None of that stuff. The people. The people are always the thing I'm worried about. Animals are unpredictable, but you already know that because they're animals. People should be rational and sane. They most definitely are not. I'm not saying I'm the most sane person in the world, but I don't run around campsites in the Catskills naked. That's the way I came up. The trail actually goes this way. I'll show you what I mean by this is where the descent starts. I'm just facing forward. And the trail disappears. That's perfectly straight out. Oh, there's the trail. And it just keeps going. You see the rocks right there. Goes down past that and just keeps on dropping. Way down there. couple of really cool spots though. With the camera dead yesterday and me just trying to make it to camp, I didn't do a lot of filming with the phone. I'll have to catch some of the spots on the way down. It's gorgeous here. That actually probably was the easier way to go. It's not like a clearly marked path to get down these rocks. I think you're supposed to maybe go that way. Maybe go that way. This way. A big rock face there. Just came down that. There's a lot of roots. There's ramps. Footwork is key in the Catskills. Of course, when you're looking at the scenery, not paying attention where you're putting your feet, you can get into trouble. Like that, if you're not paying attention. This is right by the trail. You put your foot in that. Those boulders are probably, I mean, this one's probably 25 to 30 feet tall. Doesn't look like it on the camera, but they're big. Okay, so just signed out the registry up there. Registry's kind of far from the parking lot, but just checked out, and I'll be back at the car in like 5 or 10 minutes. So made it back down way quicker, obviously going downhill. Even taking my time, it only took me 2.5 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours to get down here. Took me 3 to get up to camp, but I also was hiking a lot longer yesterday. So yeah, I hope you guys liked the video. It was definitely interesting. Kind of a semi-solo backpacking trip. How do I get around this? I gotta go up. It's weird to see at the bottoms of trails a lot of trail blockage by trees. Usually they take care of those pretty quick, but as much storm damage and snow damage as this area's had, it's gonna be a while for a lot of these trails to get cleared up completely. But you can always get around them. That was a little sidebar. Yeah, so I hope you guys liked the video. It was definitely I lost the trail. There it is. Definitely an interesting hike from day to day. Today's been nice but short. I might stop somewhere else just to kind of relax. Might just head home, take a shower. I don't want to go anywhere public because I probably smell horrible. That's a sign of a good trip. But yeah, it's gonna do it for the video. So thanks for watching. If you liked it, you know what to do. Hit the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, it is free to do so. And I don't want to leave. It's so nice here, but I have to. All right. See you in the next.